What's going on, guys? Super Savage 789 here, bringing you guys a video. Today we're doing What Goku's in Naruto Part 3. The last part, we covered the end of the tuning exams all the way until the end of Part 1. Goku had his tail permanently removed, but also learned how to use the Kamehameha and manifest his ki as a whole. We left off with Goku and Naruto promising to get strong to fight again. In the time skip, Goku would be training hard, while Naruto during the time skip refines his existing techniques. Goku would be making whole new ones. He creates some basic key techniques like the Taioken and the multiform, seeing them as useful despite the blatant flaws of the techniques. During this time, he'd still be a genin, so he'd be doing it on the job, which gets the interest of Kiba. He tells Goku that he wants to try and make a technique, and slowly begins to pick up the very basics of ki, creating a technique he called the Wolfang Fist. He doesn't explore that path any further though, as he struggled to make a basic technique. After Goku achieves the rank of Chunin, he'd have a lot more time to train. It means that he'd be able to train with Lee, increasing the taijutsu prowess of both by leagues. My Guy and Lee would both take a liking to Goku, and they tried to teach him a technique very few can pull off, the 8 gates. They explain to him the basics, but the problem is Goku doesn't have chakra nodes. He tries to interpret their tips and would dig deep, releasing a red aura from his body that immediately makes Lee and Guy both panic. Unknowingly, Goku just learned the basic form of the Kaioken. Goku begins to learn to use this new type of power, seeing it as somewhat quite useful in certain situations. The recoil that he takes from it isn't that great, but he learns to hold it and make it a useful part of his arsenal. Someone else would also learn how to use this, Rock Lee. Now, I know what you're thinking. Lee can only use taijutsu, right? Well, that's because he can't manifest his chakra properly. Ki, however, works much differently to chakra, so learning ki would be quite beneficial for Lee. He learned to use the Kaioken, however, the buff he gets from the gates would be much more beneficial. I think Lee would also learn basic ki techniques and create his own technique that he calls the Kienzon. Goku and Choji would also keep up their good relationship. I think Asuma would pay off Goku to train Choji into shape in return for an all-you-can-eat buffet after. Naturally, Goku would take this offer. I'm sure Choji would also pick up the basics of ki and would learn to use basic ki blasts. Since Goku is spending more time with Choji, Ino and Goku would also spend more time together, where Ino's crush for Goku continues to grow. After 2.5 years pass, Goku senses a familiar presence approaching the village. He immediately takes flight towards the gates, letting out a loud shout for Naruto! He grabs his Nuebo as Naruto grabs his kunai, and the duo collide their weapons. Goku then hops backwards, telling Naruto that he hopes he's stronger now. Naruto tells Jiraiya to step back and watch as he kicks Goku's ass. Naruto immediately starts off creating shadow clones who all rush at the same warrior. He uses the multiform, which impresses Naruto quite a bit. The clones begin to collide, however it's quickly evident that the shadow clones are a superior cloning technique. So all the clones in unison of Goku ignite the Kaioken and destroy all the clones of Naruto with a hard blow, shooting the real Naruto backwards. All the Gokus refuse and rush at Naruto as they begin to engage in taijutsu. This puts Naruto outclassed due to this being Goku's proficiency. So he hits him with a point-blank Rasengan, getting some good damage on him. He then creates a big shuriken to throw at him, but Goku reacts with Taioken, blinding him. When Naruto's eyes come to, he looks for Goku, but he is nowhere. He does feel the Kamehameha hit him from above, doing some good damage, and putting an end to the fight. Goku and Naruto stumble towards the village, and are quickly scolded by both Tsunade and Sakura for being so reckless. Goku promised he'd not immediately fight Naruto when he got back, which both Goku and Naruto laugh at. They then get healed up by the two medical ninja. The start of the Kazekage rescue arc goes the same, with Team 7 being sent in pursuit like cannon. When Team Kai is sent after them and come up against Kisame, Lee is much more useful in the fight, using his ki techniques to attack Kisame. He'd probably get 1 or 2 good shots in before things would go like cannon. When up against the clones, Lee would actually be able to defeat his quite easily. This is because they had chakra to cloning tags, so they can't copy his ki techniques. So with a Kaioken and Kienzon barrage, Lee's clones are destroyed. He then rushes off to go and help Team 7. He quickly finds Sakura and Chio battling Sasori's, who Ruko's shell is destroyed. Lee would participate in the fight, and with his Kienzon, Sasori's Iron Sun attacks are easily foderized, and he's resort to his 100 puppets much earlier. It ultimately does lead to his defeat, just like in canon. When Tsunade gives Team 7 2 new members, she chooses Yamato and Goku. This is because she trusts Goku, as well as him and Naruto sharing a good bond that will be useful on missions. And from a storytelling point of view, there is no need to assign the story, so it just works better overall. The Tenchi Bridge arc also goes very similar to canon, minus the side plot. Seeing Naruto and his four tails excites Goku as he realizes Naruto's holding back so much power. It just inspires him to train. After this, Naruto asks Goku to teach him how to use ki. If Goku can become strong solely using ki, then Naruto is sure he'll become much stronger. So Goku would begin teaching Naruto ways to manifest his ki to the best of his abilities, and then how to make his own ki techniques. Due to Naruto's reckless nature, the technique he creates is extremely taxing on his stamina, and he has to take frequent breaks, though the technique is quite powerful. So he calls it the Kiko Ho, which would actually replace the Rasen Shuriken in this timeline. When Naruto, Goku, and Yamato rock up against Kakuzu, that fight would be much more one-sided against the mercenary. Goku uses a Kaioken times 10 and merely just rushes it, beating him around while Naruto charges up his new technique. Eventually, Goku uses a Dragon Throw, throwing him at Naruto, who unleashes a powerful Kiko Ho at him, completely destroying his heart, leaving him in the same state he was in canon. Then, Kakashi finishes him off. When returning to the Leaf Village, Naruto would unfortunately get the same news about Jiraiya's death. He'd still learned to train on Miyaboku, while everyone else remains to leave. And this is crazy because, get this, Pain would attack the Leaf. Kakashi would have a brief scuttle against Tendo when Goku and Choji arrive. Realizing the strength of Tendo Pain, Goku tells everyone else that he'll fight him. Kakashi calls him crazy, but Goku just shrugs. He hasn't had a good fight in a while, so he wants to battle this guy. Pain comments he's either hiding some true power, or he'll die dumber than most. Goku grins, asking Pain if he'd like to find out. Immediately, Goku uses a Kaioken times 20 and rushes at the strongest Pain there is, getting a good amount of hits in before Pain starts taking him seriously. Using a Shinra Tensei to blow Goku backwards, Tendo tells Goku that while he chooses to fight alone, Pain won't be so kind. The Astropath appears and fires a bunch of blasts at Goku, which he starts to dodge until Tendo shoots him into it. The duos of Pain continue to tag team Goku, however the Saiyan remains adamant that help is something he doesn't want. And, to be fair to the monkey boy, he is doing better than most. He even almost destroys Tendo, but gets off-guarded by a chakra rod straight through his shoulders that pins him to the ground. Pain holds his hand towards Goku, telling him that he'll now know Pain. Until a loud shout from Choji distracts everyone, shouting for Pain to not do it. He leaps in, attempting to stop Pain, but he merely turns around and holds his hand out. He begins to levitate Choji into the air as Goku shouts for him to stop. The Astropath then fires a massive rocket at him that kills Choji. This begins to get to Goku. His hair begins to levitate as he convulses on the ground, his power beginning to rise. He shouts that he won't let Pain get away with this as he explodes in a golden aura, destroying the chakra rods holding him down. Everyone looks to see Goku stood there, now a Super Saiyan. Seeing nothing new here, the Astropath rushes at Goku, who merely turns around and fires a massive blast, destroying it immediately. Clearly, he isn't playing around. All the other paths rush at Goku, and one by one are effortlessly destroyed by basic attacks, leaving no one but Tendo left. In a last-ditch effort, he takes to the sky to try and destroy the village, but Goku is prepared. He flies up and knocks Pain straight back down into a nearby forest. Tendo Pain shouts how he can't lose. He won't. He refuses to lose to such a simpleton. He hits Goku a point-blank Chibaku Tensei, taking him off guard. Rapidly, debris from all over begins to get sucked in around Goku, and eventually shuts him inside the moon-like object. He shouts that he'll destroy the village and then the ninja world until everyone knows Pain. Channeling all his strength, Goku lets out a shout of, "I will not let you destroy my world!" He becomes a Super Saiyan and blows up the Chibaku Tensei, firing a Kamehameha at Tendo Pain, destroying him easily. Meanwhile, Naruto had returned and was briefed on the situation by Kakashi. Using Sage Mode and touching a chakra rod, he leaves to confront the man who killed his master, laying the fight up to Goku. Naruto finds Nagato and hits him with a powerful Totona Jutsu that makes him use Rinne Tensei and revive everyone who died. And that's all over here. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment below what happen in the finale or part 4. As you can see, Goku did change quite a lot between Kiba, Lee, and Choji all becoming stronger, as well as Naruto. Let me know what you guys think about the techniques that these guys learned. Do you think Choji would learn a technique? I thought he would, but I couldn't exactly think of anything interesting for him. Let me know down in the comment section if you have anything interesting Choji could learn. And yeah, bye!